hi. I have something we've got to talk about. There's big news. Gamers, I have news today. First off, we're avoiding a lot of the world. We have mech games. We need to talk about mech games today. It's really important we talk about mech games today. This is actually... No, we have to talk about mech games today. It's the most important thing in the world. So we're gonna do that. And you're stuck with me, because we really have to have a talk about mech games. And a little FromSoft non sequitur. And I'm going back to Armored Core soon. I miss Armored Core sick. And how I think we might get lucky and FromSoft might be goaded into giving us gold soon. Because they're training up a lot of directors who get to iterate and fail, which is very important while you learn, especially professionally or just academically. You need to be able to fuck up and get excited about getting back up and get excited about the process of fucking up and getting up again. Like, if you do not normalize that, it does not get easy for people, and you don't get to see people fucking shine. So I love that they're doing that. That's how we got Night Rain. It's going to be epic. It's going to let more people fucking shine. Instead of like letting it be a silo of one fucking apt person, it'll instead be like a multitude of very apt people. And I feel like this might just give them one day enough time to like fixate on making a mech game. Like, there's gonna be one day where we hear that there's gonna be a certain director that's just been pecking away at something, I hope. I don't know, but I hope. And I get the feeling one day we're gonna wake up without ever hearing about its production and just see an open playtest for a mech game. Because, you know, there's a lot of people who really like making and playing mech games. I guess. I guess it's still displaying HDR. This is gonna be weird looking for a second. I'll fix it soon. I think I want to do level 47 or 61. See,
I opted for the latter. Now, lightweight ACs are kind of hard to put together because there's a lower weight limit which prevents you from choosing stronger, weightier parts. So putting this build together would require a lot of trial and error. But I realized that there was no better organized by us. And then they give you a well-deserved reward. More missions. Great. But to be fair, these missions were kind of the best of all. You face off against who I can only assume is Stinger from Project Phantasma, with his being all glue you have. It's a clever way to onboard new players, in my opinion, and it gives you a really clear sense of progression, especially at the start of the game when that's very important, and the fastest ways to move horizontally.
We're trying to lure in invaders.
In this mode, you can't fire your weapons, but your energy output skyrockets, allowing builds to quickly recover energy or just to be way more evasive for a long period of time. I would use this whenever I needed to get distance from my enemies, and then I would go back into combat mode for sniping. Actually not done yet, because the last frontier was this. Formula Front, Extreme Battle on the PSP. I never had a PSP when I was younger, so I was not going to pass up this opportunity to buy one. There are 4 Armored Core games on the PSP, but 3 of these, AC3, Silent Line, and Last Raven, these are remakes. The unique PSP title is this one, Formula Front, Extreme Battle, where you're given every single part from the get-go, and you're simply tasked with climbing the ranks.
I'm not saying that it pays to be kind, but they dropped me 10 runes, and I'm really grateful. I gave them 50 of, like, big boy runes. Like, I'm no shame to them or me. Like, I just mean that, like, invaders, we go see each other, we talk, we don't talk, we just, like, have fun. It's just, like, fun to play with people. And they gave me 10, and I'm really happy that I did something in turn for them. I guess that's the big part, because, like, it's really good to just be not a dickhead to people and just hang out and chill sometimes, you know?
In the arena. The catch with this game is that you can technically beat this game without actually playing it, as there's a whole system of AI coding where you calibrate your AC to fight for you. It sounds good in theory, but these AI menus take forever to navigate, and Often your AC won't listen to your preset commands, and they'll just happily shoot missiles into a wall instead while you're forced to watch. So I played through half the game manually, and I will say the enemy ACs in this game are really, really well designed. Their builds are very unique, and I ended up being forced to make 4 drastically different builds in order to progress and counter them. It was really fun, but one funny thing about this game is the whole aesthetic that it has. While every other game is this dystopian commentary on the terror of war and the dispassion of business, the music and the intros in Formula Front make those parts back to the shop for the same price that you bought them at, and just buy something else instead. This is a game that will not stop you making mistakes, but it won't always punish you for those mistakes either. So I had no idea what I wanted to buy from the shop, but I had heard whispers about a legendary weapon that existed in this game, and I knew I needed to try it. I needed to figure out why it was so popular. It's called the Carousel.
Oh, we're not doing it.
You actually can't get in the shop.
I thought I could tank
Instead,
it. I was way shocked by the armor.
These are parts that you actually have to hunt.
That's my own
down
fault.
and
I'm bad.
pick up during
I can get better.
missions. I had read somewhere that the Kurosawa was hidden behind some explosive barrels in an early mission, and it was easy enough to find.
Weapon obtained.
Okay, so this thing was insane. It dramatically increased my firepower, and most enemies would die in just a few shots. But it wasn't without its downsides. For one,
They tried for us.
Kurosawa was extremely heavy, so I realized I needed to buy heavy legs in order to accommodate that weight. The Kurosawa also has pretty limited ammo, so I equipped some light missiles as backup. It's really interesting.
Go to sleep. Okay, now they're dozing off with very little health. They're not dead, they're literally just sleeping.
This is Armored Core. Remember, looking up in vertical. So you have to look up to where you're going, and then you have to look down to make sure you have your landing secured every time. Because all of these platforms are moving. They're moving in different directions as well, and all at different speeds. And unless you're an Armored Core god or using save states on an emulator, you will have to redo this mission. And that's because of what or who comes next.
Name of AC. 9-ball.
If you had ever
Let's
looked
see
at
if
the
they actually
ranking
want to be
menu in
kind.
the Raven's Nest, you would have seen a list of
Oh,
all the
cool.
enemy ACs in the game, and 9-ball is the top-ranked AC, piloted by someone named Hustler 1.
No, I'm not
And he's
changing
top ranked
weapons,
for a
I'm good.
reason. Just watch this attempt of me fighting him.
I like their movement. I really do.
But not
I
to
wish
worry,
that I checked latency when I
getting over
started.
it, 20 minutes later, I was back.
I was
for
ready to
round
do
two,
it. Holy shit.
Which went like this.
Okay, it wasn't that much. That was reasonable. I just sucked. Lame.
And on and on it went, until I simply gave up. 9-ball can fly better than me. He's faster than me. He has better weaponry than me.
He can fly better. He's faster than me. Gosh, he's just such a good guy. He's just such a good guy. Like, how am I such a loser? I just crack a taunter's tongue and lure the invaders to me and consider this like a public service enough for me to be good with it. Like, I don't gank them. I don't treat them like shit. I bow at them every time. I treat them respectfully, like people.
My first escape run,
I just want to fight them.
I choked, and I missed the tiny hole that you're supposed to fly into. And then, on my second try, I made it, but somehow 9-ball managed to get in after me. Back then, I guess I had one thought in my mind here, and that was to flee. To run down the corridor in terror, away from this black and red AC that had been killing me all day. The AI core that you destroy at the end is somehow part of 9-ball's consciousness, and you destroy it. Mission complete. Thank God I don't have to fight that guy again. Next up was Armored Core Project Phantasma, which was released only a few
I
months
couldn't parry the
after
jump
the
attack.
first Armored Core. They were able to do this because while Project Phantasma can still be played as its own standalone game,
Oh,
it's
that's a
perhaps
decent bit of
more accurate
latency.
to call this
Okay.
an expansion The game essentially plays the same as the first one, except with new missions, new parts, and some rebalancing to old parts. You can even transfer your save from the first game over to this one if you want to continue with your
GG.
previous AC build and all of its parts, which is really
Big
cool.
ol' L's.
And this is basically how all of the Armored Core
What a
games
champion.
work. The easiest
What a fucking king. What a respectful, fun to fight king.
way to understand how they're all connected is when they're arranged like this. Each row represents a generation of Armored Core games where your save can continue within the generation. There's Gen 1 for the PS1, Gen 2, 3, and 3.5
What am I
for the
used to
PS2,
using? I was
then
just playing a
Gen
different
4 and
thingy.
5 for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Generations 1 to 3.5 play quite similarly, but the series would eventually change radically in Generation 4 and then again in Generation 5, as you'll see later on. Anyway, I wanted to try a new build in Project Phantasma, and I'd since learned that the most defining part of your build are your legs.
Broadswords.
It's kind of
for
like
win.
the RPG equivalent.
Like, blood tax is really just because it gets us a lot of, like, it says that this sword can do pierce damage, but, yeah, unless you have blood tax, you show me how you get this sword to do pierce damage. It doesn't. Like, that's just so I can be entirely rude to the game and force it to let me do pierce damage with a sword that it hates giving us pierce damage on. That's because I'm petty, and it's because the game deserves it. Ooh, and invaded. Nice. Sick.
of choosing a class. They determine how fast you move, how fast you turn, the nature of your movement, but perhaps most importantly, how much weight you can carry. First, I tried some
See,
tread.
they're doing it right, by the way. You generally want to wear something that, like, obscures your weapon swaps, especially. Like, I'm gonna be hard swapping mostly, so I need to get back used to my fucking nonsense. But, you know, I'm here for this. Just in case they do something cheeky. Just in case. I'm ready. I got that frenzied burst ready.
legs. Tread legs allow you to carry extremely heavy loads and even allow you to fire heavy back weapons while you're moving or flying, which no other leg part can do. However, this comes at the cost of your movement and flying ability, and one mission was enough for
No one expects the fucking broadsword that does that. Now, I expect them to also be heavy on hemorrhage, because I am too. I'm giving them a sec if they want to. Oh, they're still regening or didn't get hit. I forgot one of the two.
me to
Wasn't paying
decide
attention.
that this was not for me. Like, imagine completing every mission in the game going this slowly. What I ended up settling
That is
on
a reason
were
to take
quad
Rakshasas.
legs. Quad legs are kind of like tread legs in the sense that they allow you to fire heavy back weapons while you're moving, though you can't fly
I think it's
while you
Rakshasas,
do
right?
so. But unlike tread legs, quad legs exist on a bit of a spectrum where you can equip heavy load-bearing quads, but also fast, lightweight quads as well. I opted for the latter. Now, lightweight ACs are kind of hard to put together.
Okay, I forgot. It's roll on release, not roll on tap. I've been playing a lot of Stellar Blade, and so some games I've been playing are like roll on tap, and that's just so fun to get back into. GG's. They're gonna keep invading, and I fucking like them. They've got a weapon I don't get to mess with against a lot. They're really kind to fight. I like them. They're 10 out of 10.
There's a lower
Great.
weight limit
Hell yeah.
which prevents you from choosing stronger, weightier parts. So
I should
putting
probably
this build
rest till
together
it's
would
not
require
raining.
a lot of trial and error. But I realized that there was no
What was
better
I gonna put
place
here?
for this build
Not that.
process than in a place called the Arena. In the Arena, you fight exclusively against enemy ACs in one-on-one combat, ranking up and earning credits as you go. And
Our
while
weight's
enemy
low enough.
ACs are some of the toughest enemies that you can face in these games, there are no ammo costs here, and you can only really benefit from these fights. But best of all, it teaches you about different enemy builds, and it shows you what works, what doesn't work, and it shows you the limits of your own build. It's the perfect space.
The only reason to bring this one is the weight on it, but it's so inefficient that I'd rather, like, it's not like it's a hard drop off from, like, the little bit of change I can bring here. It's fine. This is really handy with what we've got going. Okay, cool beans. Does that?
to refine and adjust your AC into a machine that's capable of taking on some of the hardest fights in the game, and that's what my build quickly became, a fast, lightweight quad with machine gun arms and ammo canisters on its back.
Yeah, that FP regen's pretty solid. Like, I can live with this. I'm gonna sleep till it's not raining. I like the rain for fighting. It's just like, who cares? And it also might fuck with someone else's machine. And I'd rather not, like, lag their ass out over fucking some fun shit for me.
A build
Alright, cool
designed to do one thing really well.
We're
and that
taunters
was
up, we're good.
to run circles around my opponents, staying outside of their FCS lockbox and keeping them in my own. It's hard to explain just how satisfying it is to refine your build in these games and to see it all come together perfectly at the end. You know, you solve energy problems, weight problems, ammo problems, compromise on some parts, but then
I kind of didn't know it was a holiday until you said that. I know there's fireworks and shit. I literally don't notice what day it is half the time. I don't know. I legitimately, I asked my manager, since I'm bad at knowing what day it is, to just tell me, like, if there's a holiday, and I'll take it off. He didn't tell me. I'm guessing he probably, like, scheduled needing probably that on his consideration. I don't know. I'll talk to him. I didn't think about it because I just legit didn't know there was a reason to take a day off. Oh well. Sucks to suck.
you stand your ground on others, and if you're lucky, you'll end up with a build that is entirely your own. You know how to play it. You know what its weaknesses are. You know its strengths. You know exactly what challenges went into creating it, and it's yours. So when I went back into missions and I realized that machine gun ammo costs were going to put me
Kelly.
deep into debt, it was easy for me to tweak my build into a more cost-efficient one for most missions because I understood how to undo certain parts of my build. But for the final mission, I wheeled out my lightweight, expensive AC killer and went to town. The final fight was against Stinger, who's a bit of a joke, honestly, at least compared to 9-Ball in the previous game. Stinger's strategy was to shoot out so many rainbow bullets that my FPS would drop to unplayable levels, and it almost worked, because I actually ran out of ammo in this fight and assumed that I'd lost. So at this point I actually gave up and went close to him so that he could just kill me faster and get it over with, but then this happened. His own missiles dealt the final piece of damage to himself. Pretty fitting way for this guy to go out. My AC gloriously flies into the roof, and that's the end of Project Phantasma. I felt like I was getting pretty good at the series, but From Software were watching, just waiting to tear me back down again, because the next game was Armored Core Master of Arena, and I
brought the right
legitimately
tool for the
felt
problem.
good when I put in the disc, loaded up that first mission, and watched this cutscene.
Don't shoot me. I'm leaving now. What? Another one? Aw, what's a top rank arena AC doing here?
That's what I wanted to see if I could survive. Okay, I wanted to know if I could stand it.
I don't care who you are. No one can do me.
9-Ball was back, and this time it was personal on a few levels, because I wanted revenge on 9-Ball for him shaming me in the first game, you know, in front of all my YouTube viewers as well.
GG.
But apparently,
That got kinda
my character
nasty.
in the
I
game
like it.
wanted revenge.
Like, it became a point of, like, I know Bloodhound's blade is, like, kinda quick, but, like, in contrast to the weapons I usually use, like, these are both very slow, so we're just, like, throwing weighty hits at each other. I usually use fucking, like, hook claws right now. Like, I'm genuinely, like, I've been a dagger hook claw kind of person for a while. Like, if I can attack faster, I have less problems.
As well.
Like, I zone out sometimes if I'm, like, doing long stuff. And so being able to just, like, dagger and or hook claw someone and constantly do something is a lot more forgiving than having to, like, patiently line up each of, you know. Yeah. It, like, there's a thing to mention to it. Also, I forget that that has a good old stab bar too. It's really quick to let out in contrast to like, you know, most do take like a nice hefty wind up. Like if I hammer swapped really fast, or even... Like it's a big old pullback, right? And then alternatively, if I come to, let's say, what's like a I guess this, I don't need to do anything else with it. That's a big old wind up. Darn. Okay. Even this, like, even everyone's bestest boy. Even bestest boy right here. Such a chore. Like, this is bestest boy, okay? Don't you ever get it wrong. 100% bestest boy. Everyone loves them. Everyone knows they love them. They're the greatest. Don't you dare trifle with them. We got invaded. Here's my Yuji. Didn't we? I thought we did. No, we didn't. Like, that's really hard to zone out during, because you either have to push and, like, go and push and go and push and go and push constantly. I mean, you don't have to, but it really benefits. Like, it's really good for a good push.
Lana is your contact at the Raven's
Lana.
Nest, and mail from her reads, when we first met on the network, you mentioned becoming a
I
Raven
was trying
because there was
this. I'm
someone
not a
you
big
wanted
fan.
to kill. AC name 9-ball, pilot hustler 1, top ranked AC.
When I say trying, I mean I sat this down like months ago to go play different games. Definitely Stellar Blade, Jedi Souls, and Stellar Blade are two of my favorites though. Like of other games that I've gotten into recently. Like the Sekiro type speed of Jedi Souls and the lack of overall combat complexity and just the fixation on being fucking quick is so good. And then Stellar Blade makes you slow it down a teensy bit more, and it like rewards very precise input for certain actions, and it's like so nice. It's such a good, like it's such a fun like little
in the arena.
little fun
That is
tryst.
all we know.
I liked it.
She comments that anyone who attempts to face 9-ball in battle will surely be destroyed, that if we're really serious about this, then she can arrange it so that we will one day fight him. So Lana immediately passes us a mission from Progtech, who manufacture AC parts. They want us to put down some rampaging robots in their factory, and in return, they'll give us some free parts and sponsor us in the arena. What follows is this glorious mix of mission and arena gameplay. Sometimes your mission board will be completely empty and all you can access is the arena, which you'll need to progress in order to unlock missions again. And then sometimes it's the reverse, where the arena is locked off because there's an urgent mission you need to complete for your sponsor. And it's this balance, the way that the arena and mission gameplay
Oh, they're
is
not asleep yet.
interwoven that
Oh,
makes
goddammit.
Master of Arena
I don't wanna kill
easily
them.
rank within the top of Armored Core games, because the pacing is just phenomenal. In
Is it
other
just
games,
hold it up that does
sometimes
it?
missions would feel like a grind, and
No, it must be hit
sometimes
too,
doing the
right?
arena would just feel like an optional side quest. But in this game, missions had me feel like I was strengthening my relationship with my sponsor.
See, this one's health's already
and
low.
when I progressed in the arena, I knew it was in pursuit of
I just
a
wanted
goal,
to like sit with all
to
three of them.
rise through the ranks so that I could
thought it
one
would be
day
kinda
have
cute.
the right to challenge 9-ball, who is formidable in the story of this game just as he's formidable in a gameplay sense as well. So I continued to chip away at the missions, and in the arena I was a demon. I was this red AC wielding the Kurosawa and a moonlight sword and some really fast legs. These legs were so fast that I didn't really need my boosters, which meant that I
We're
had
doing
more energy
invasions.
for shooting my Kurosawa.
We've got the boy Vati on. We've got like this. Like not every wolf goes to sleep appropriately in this game or in this series. So like we've kind of like brought out our like deep mechanical insight just to put some wolf friends to sleep. It's fine. I mean, we were literally just letting them slumber with us. Like we thought it was cute. Yeah, I really should have thought to do that earlier and position that better. That would have been wise.
Sawa while grounded. With this build, I flew through the arena, and if I was ever having trouble with an opponent, it would be because they were flying. But if they were flying,
Oh, I
would
didn't
just
crack
take
the
them
tongue.
to the garage.
God damn it,
which
I must
was an
fucking
arena
ignorant goof.
level that limited their flight capabilities and kept them on the ground with me, so I didn't have to touch the accursed R2 and L2 triggers. I was feeling pretty confident.
Well, keep it
And
on
then
hand in
the
case
final
someone
fight
comes in.
with 9-ball. arrived.
But I'll keep the broadsword on hand. Or I guess the Lordsworn. Like, broadsword is like highest for just like straight damage, and Lordsworn is one of the longer straight swords. I think this gets a little bit longer. Yeah. Like, but I don't think the hitbox protrudes out. I forgot. But I know that, like, I know it looks longer, but I don't remember if the hitbox is bigger. Oops. It hits about... I feel like they have the same box, because this one protrudes past its body when it hits. I feel like the other one's just because of weight and requirement, because you can like wield it with... Okay, it's E and A instead of E and B, right? It does 40 less damage at the moment, but its dex does go up to A. So I have it tiered out to what, Keen? I probably did something like not had this out and probably had more... I probably had more Ratagoons. Ratatouille Gooner. Wait, I'll stop talking. Ratatouille. Radagon's Sorciel is about to become Ratatouille's Sorciel, is what I'm trying to say. Radagon's fuck Radagon, worship Ratatouille. All praise the Night Mother, bringer of Sithis. What else? That's about it. We're good now. That's all. This is your daily PSA.
Well, got him on the first try. Except that wasn't the end.
The corporation, the ACs, the Raven's Nest. All of these were
This would be
formed by
cheap,
me.
but I'm not afraid to do it for now. Like while I'm between stuff.
For the sole purpose of recreating the world and humankind with it. And that's the duty to which I've been entrusted.
It's been a while, so I think these stack, right? Yes. Temp and permanent. Temp one, I think there's like... Holy shit, I forgot what the box shape means versus the diamond shape. But I'm pretty sure diamond shape is temporary. No. It's body, aura, and weapon, right? And so I just did an aura. And here would be body, because it's done by talismans and swords and such. Okay. And then I can have a weapon thingy, which would be like me doing this, right? Oops. And that would be a weapon buff, which doesn't show up on my bar, but does actually have an effect. Got it. Okay, I remember now. We got this. We're good. We can play games. We're gamers.
Phase 2 has you fighting 2 9 balls, and that's exactly as hard as it sounds.
Like, at the moment, I have base health regen, and we're also just doing FP regen, and it's a good enough place to just look at it before I swap to Armored Core 6 for a little bit, and get back used to watching pips of health go up.
The reason
damn
there's
it.
2 is because it's been revealed that the 9 balls are able to be mass-produced, and they actually aren't piloted by a human. Instead, they're controlled by a highly advanced combat AI that thinks it can rebuild the world by manufacturing conflict, as long as they're the strongest Raven, which is why it has to take you out, which it does, repeatedly.
Why do you insist on interfering?
Quickly, I realized that it's
forgot how to
extremely
play.
important that you do well in the first fight against the single 9 ball, because your health and ammo that remains is what you'll need to take on the other 2 at once. And after a ton of time-consuming resets, I realized that there was an upper level to the dual 9 ball fight, which could be used to potentially separate the 2 and help you to fight one at a time. Finally, I was victorious.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. I could have used Flame Cleanse Me rather.
There's this kind of like
To be
absurd,
okay.
giddy dread
I already did
that
Blessings Boon.
I've only
Shit.
ever really experienced playing FromSoft games. That feeling that even though you've pushed yourself to the limit, the challenge actually isn't over yet.
See, I'm remembering how to play, kinda, sorta, a little bit. Teeny bit.
Modifying program final level. All system checks are complete. Combat mode is now engaged.
Oops, that jerked up at the worst time. Oh, I did it again.
Target verified. Commencing hostilities.
Here we go. Oh, you can blow these up with poison. I forgot.
Defenses damaged. Halting combat and returning to the nest.
If you
This
poison
third
them,
phase is
then they get overloaded with poison and they just blow up. So if you poison the poison guys, then the poison guys can cause chain poison guy reaction. And then you have like 50 dead poison guys, and it's just you amidst their corpses. Fuck you! You shoot water at me. Eat tasty ass revenge, you fucking prick.
extremely tough. And it also takes a while to learn
Did you just
because
shoot through a
you
wall?
have to defeat one 9-ball, and then you have to defeat the
You
two
bastard.
9-balls before you even get a chance to practice.
Oh my
this
gosh,
fight.
I'm an ignorant
And those
fucking
two
goof.
fights were hard enough, so you don't get that many chances to practice. But eventually
I'm
I
the
learned
worst.
that 9-ball Seraph, as he's called, always begins the fight by running at you with his blade, which sends energy waves and requires a well-timed boost jump for you to evade it. After that, he'll transform into this little rocket
Oh, that's
ship
what that
and
was.
zoom
I thought
around
it was
the
a
arena,
spit.
shooting missiles and trying to get behind you before transforming back into an attack phase and just closing the distance with his blade and his pulse rifle once again. Over and over I tried to defeat him, and over again I lost. But I had heard rumors of something. A controller technique that I thought might just be able to help me. It's something called the legendary armored core grip. Some said that it was a meme. Others
Okay,
said
that works. I
by
can roll the
holding
first
your
one and take a
controller
nice,
backwards,
like-
you could get full access to every button at once, which would
I can
allow
take that.
for perfect control of your AC. So I gave it a try.
I got nervous because I hit the invader. I need to just lock in.
Finally, after countless attempts at Phase 1 and about 16 victories in Phase 2, I managed to overcome Phase 3 with a little bit of skill and a lot of luck. And I was just joking about using the armored core grip. Or was I?
No, you weren't joking.
Anyway, 9-ball was
Because
dead.
now that I know about
Thank
it,
God
I'm gonna
I don't
use
have
it.
to fight that guy again. Next up, Armored Core 2. I was excited for this
Come with
because
me.
this was a PS2 game, and I had been eyeing that PS2 controller off to my side for a while now. Just knowing it had what I wanted, dual analog sticks. I couldn't wait to be able to aim properly, so I grabbed the controller, moved the sticks, and they didn't work. What? For some unfathomable reason, From Software had decided to stick with the back triggers
stick
for
with
camera
the
control in
fucking
this game,
sticks.
which
Holy
I just
shit,
don't
bro.
understand. The solution was right there. It's insane to me that this wasn't a design priority for them. Maybe there's a good reason for this, but I don't know. Anyway, let's talk story. So, Armored Core 2 takes place 67
If you get to the
years
trees, there's
after
less
the
of
events
those things.
Master of Arena, when a cataclysmic event called the Great Destruction forced mankind underground. Eventually, however, mankind discovered the pre-war Mars Immigration Project and started to set up colonies on the Red Planet, where wars over resources would
lame.
inevitably break out once more.
Get used to garlic.
It's
You can never
a
have too
compelling
much
story,
garlic.
but I wanted my story to begin in a really unique way this time. So this time I didn't start with a single mission. Instead, I committed for some reason to playing exclusively in the arena until I had defeated every single opponent and become the top-ranked Raven.
The top dog.
This ended up being
Or that.
an extremely memorable
That's true.
experience for me. And while the arena doesn't incur repair and ammo costs, it doesn't exactly give you many credits at the start either, so there was a limit to which parts I could afford when attempting to outsmart my enemies. So for me, it was very important to read these character descriptions before each fight, and I loved how much story and
Mints.
insight each one revealed. Some characters were in the arena to pay off gambling debt.
I mean, garlic powder is also pretty solid. Like, it saturates, moisture goes inside, moisture, if it's salty moisture, goes inside and out. And it, like, mechanically, it mechanically massages it for you. I don't know, it's like, there's, like, garlic that's dry is actually kind of solid for a lot of reasons, too. Minced, fine. Dry, also fine. Yes, you have more options for a minced or a crushed, like, honestly, yeah. But if you're just getting, like, if you just want your garlic and you know that it's gonna saturate and come out kind of not the same as making a mirepoix first, but it's okay. It's not bad, you know? It's not good, not bad, not terrible. It's just life. You live.
Hey,
I like
Some were
muscle
here to
face.
show off their new parts they had for sale, or I distinctly remember number 45, who was a girl piloting a mech in order to earn money to feed her starving family. Feels bad.
Oh.
But most importantly, some descriptions revealed
This is
the
our
enemy
last one before I
AI's
go to,
preferred
like,
strategies
pick a different
and
game for a bit, or we're gonna take a break,
For
I guess.
example, this guy was
Be a reacky
famously
schmacky.
bad at energy management, and then there was another one who would panic if you pressured them, and then some enemies were just pure comedy. At one point, I met Bullet Dragon, a man who was in the arena because he loved the sound of machine guns, and he only fought so that he could afford more ammo. I couldn't outpace him with my own machine gun, so I outlasted him, and he flat out, I don't know if this was a glitch or anything, but he just seemed to decide to leave the arena when he started to run out of machine gun ammo.
Oh.
And then there was Supersonic, who was a character who spent all his money on fastest parts. Like,
GG.
he was just here to build for speed. And
You won't get
nothing
into
else.
cooking? That's fine.
And then, poor guy.
You don't need to, like, you can still, like, have microwavable broth. And if you're having fun with, like, garlic powder, you'll see that it can, like, bloom differently. Like, if you treat garlic powder like tea and you wait for it to bloom, you'll get better results than if you treat it like a bee and you wait for it to bloom you? Your face? I don't know. Bloom your face. Don't do that. That would be weird. Bloom your face, you fucking goober.
He actually went so fast that he flew out of bounds in the arena, and I won.
This
10 out
is
of
such
10.
a lazy tool.
It's in Armored Core 2's arena that I experimented with basically every weapon type in the shop. There were so many ways to
remember what I'd
express your
wanted.
creativity in the builds in this game.
probably
and
stir
Constantly
or-
trying to
I have a keen weapon. I bet it's actually, I was gonna say it's probably this, honestly, because rocking with as much health as this goofball me decided to take a round, like, I can easily afford the extra damage. And I feel like I was, they're keen for a reason, and I feel like I could pull more out, like, not just in general, but, hold on, one sec. Instex. Okay, and we take a lot. Okay, cool, never mind. Versus Stir. Yeah, no. Stir's not bad. I mean, it's a good option for a lot of things, but I'd rather the Dex for most of what we have. I'll take the less
new
damage.
enemy weaknesses
That's
taught me
fine.
so much about the
Double
pros
that.
and cons of various weaponry. But the best lesson I think I learned was from number 19. AC name Mass. Pilot name Bulk. Guess
Mass
what
Bulk?
his build is.
Mass bulk.
So his build was designed to just stay alive
Bless.
while his
What a
opponents
sweetheart.
ran out of ammo, which I did many times.
What a
And
champion.
in trying to overcome him, I found
What a
it.
Zelda
My
player.
new best friend, the EWG MG SAW, a machine gun with 1,000 rounds of ammo, which allowed me to focus on one strategy: unrelenting offense. And with this gun, I went all the way towards top rank, but on the way, I
Mood.
met Count 1, pilot name, number 1.
Okay, but like, a lot of things count as technically food and technically edible that I don't think you'd want. Like, you can within moderation just sit and like, you can just sit and like literally munch on, instead of French fries, you can like dip cigarettes in ketchup. I still don't think you ought to do that.
1. Rank,
Oh well.
11.
Unless you want to.
He's obsessed
but I
with the
recommend it.
number
Sounds
1
weird.
and has put a great
Like, if you do it, probably record it, because that sounds like content. It sounds like laughing at some stuff King Cobra does.
deal of
I'm
effort
down.
into his current position. He'd
Don't
rather
do
be
it, though,
ranked 11th
please.
than first, as it has twice as
At
many
least on
ones.
my accord.
I realized even his weapon arms looked like 2 sets of 1s. So you gotta respect the
Oh
commitment.
my gosh.
But in
I do.
retrospect, his weapon arms would end up being the key, because my machine gun circling strategy ended up being useless against the top-ranked AC Ares, who had the firepower and the turning ability to completely counter my strategy. So I built for power to overwhelm him instead. And that's where I got the idea from number 11, who used weapon arms. And with these bazooka arms,
I'm kind of like in a moment of perturbation and debate. So this does not work with this kind of weapon. Like the two-handed ones, you have to like, it has to be one hilt in one hand, not 2 hilts in 2 hands, because it's the kind of weapon. Crits aren't the greatest. Guard counters could be fine. Blockers might be kind of like, it's kind of situational, honestly, at this point. Like, this is very much situational. I think we just got invaded. Nope, not yet. Okay.
absolutely destroyed
I'm trying to think
Ares
of a good opening.
to become number 1. 1 was enough for me. Now I could actually start playing the game, and when I finally did start the missions, it didn't matter that my machine gun ammo was extremely expensive.
Alright,
I was an arena millionaire.
Damn,
and
bro.
when I finally got to the last mission, and there was this
There we go.
sequence where
Now
I
we
needed
got
to
it.
fight enemies that I couldn't lock onto, the arena had already taught me what to do. Instead of brute forcing the final fight with sheer stubbornness like I had in previous games, I actually used my shop knowledge to come up with a better build and a better strategy, and equipped with rockets and grenade cannons that didn't really need lock-on to function properly, I made the final sequence way easier for myself. The final boss's name is Leos Klein, and interestingly it's implied that he was actually the player character from Master of Arena, and I love these little callbacks. There's a depth to the storytelling that I was discovering, although I'll
I
admit,
need to get a check on their
99% of the
latency. This is
storytelling was
bullshit.
going over my head as I was just so focused on the gameplay. But even though I'm not paying much attention to the story in these playthroughs yet, anyway, even I can tell when it's missing, and nowhere did story feel more absent than in Armored Core 2, Another Age. The big selling point in this expansion seems to be the sheer amount of missions.
I'm trying to check my
I felt
latency
like
to you.
most of these games had an average of between 20
Yeesh.
or 30 missions before you hit an ending. But
It feels
in
weird.
Another Age, there are 100 missions.
And your
in the
hits are
game.
based on your shit, not my
Whereas in
shit.
some other games, you can skip certain missions or just have them go away if you fail. All 100 missions in Another Age are mandatory. Now, I'm gonna be honest, every Armored
Okay,
Core
fine.
game does have its fair share of very badly designed missions. Missions where you get lost in endless corridors with unclear
Thank
objectives,
you.
or missions where you go out of
GGs.
bounds, or are forced to do platforming for some reason, and Another Age
People don't usually walk away for like a reason. People usually walk away because we're trying to like change a weapon, figure out what's going on, or like not do like an aggressive thing. Or else I'd be like legitimately trying to position on you. And it's fine, I don't really give a shit. It's like whatever. But I was kind of really confused at like, y'all would see me, I'd be like on them, they wouldn't hit a roll yet. I'd do this and I was trying to count it out until like the hit registered on their side. Because like for me, I see them like that. But when you initiate a hit, like the other person, I could think I'm rolling out of something. But like if the latency is particularly high, like I will roll out on my screen, get hit on their screen, and I still get hit on my screen if I'm what looks like really far away. So you might have to like prepare ahead a little bit and start seeing if you can bait people into a parry or do some other unhinged shit, right? But that's okay.
Rage did have tons of missions that I hated, but the worst in my opinion were missions that your AC could be fundamentally incompatible with. For example, there was a mission here that required me to ascend a long corridor, and
Did
I just couldn't
summon a
with
person
so
yet?
many of my
Okay,
builds.
cool. They're invading.
Don't get
Good.
me wrong, I love reworking my AC to solve combat puzzles, but having my build be
same one?
fundamentally incompatible.
I kind of hope it's the same person. They were fun. I just like was having fun getting used to it. Like, I'm sure I'll get used to the latency thing again. It's just going to take a minute. Right? Like, it's not the kind of thing that you breeze into. It's the kind of thing you get used to and just do. I mean, you might be a breeze
with
into it,
some
but like, I'm
mandatory
going to just get
missions
good.
was frustrating, to say the least. I guess this is why Armored Core 6 might be adding jump pads, huh? But then there is a bright side to having mandatory missions in that it does at least force you to try different things, but more importantly, it forces you to get good. For example, perhaps the most memorable mission for me in Another Age was this one, where you have to fight not one, not two, but 3 enemy ravens
See,
all
that's what we do.
at the same time.
Like, you do one,
And
you don't spam
that
it.
is, again,
do the one
exactly
you
as
need.
hard as it sounds.
You throw your one little fucking fan dagger. You see if the latency looks reasonable. You do what you gotta do. That's it. Nothing else. That's all. Oh, they're jumping off to die. I want to fight someone, please.
One of the enemies was a heavy tank build that can harass you
Okay.
if you leave it alive.
You know what? I'm going to my favorite place to get invaded then. That's what we're doing. Did I already get invaded again? Oh no, I didn't. It changed. Academy Gate Town. It's really close, but it's my favorite place. So check it. It's just really pretty, right? It's mostly just like, I don't know other than it's pretty and it's active. Like, there's always stuff going on. It's pretty, and I don't know if you need another reason other than it's pretty here. Oh, and it's pretty easy to see. You're close to a bonfire. If you stand over here, everyone spawns, like if you're a little bit down this way, they spawn right there. So it's like super convenient. Like there's like no L here outside of my
Another
gameplay.
is extremely mobile and is equipped with powerful weaponry that will take you down very, very quickly. And the third AC, luckily, isn't much of a threat at all. But they still do serve.
Like, I've been playing Stellar Blade alone for a while, so... Like, I've popped on with people a bit, which is really fun. Like, you know, there's a person. I love that
As
weapon.
a distraction and require
It's a
precious
great
time
sword.
and
It's a great sword made of wood that does cold damage, and it's so fun. Like, I'm a big, big fan of it. I think it's super cool.
ammo to take down. So once you have stock of your opponents, you have to come up with a strategy and make sure your AC design accommodates that strategy. And then you have to make sure you have the skill to actually put that strategy into action. After a few attempts, I realized that I had the best success when I took out
I should do the
tank
track.
AC with machine gun fire, since they came at me first and they weren't fast enough to dodge any of my projectiles. But fighting the other two was the real challenge.
Even if I don't
because
need to on this one, I'm still
together,
going
they
to,
were
because it's a
difficult
good
to split
habit.
apart, and they would just grind me down over time. So I needed a secondary weapon that could take one of them out quickly with overwhelming power. I chose missiles as my secondary weapon, and I also equipped a relation missile extension part. So once this extension was activated,
Respectfully, GG.
it basically shot out more missiles as a bonus whenever I shot out my normal missiles, which basically doubled my damage output for a short amount of time, which was enough time to deal a severe amount of damage and finally even the odds. But then there was still a final piece of this puzzle, which was
See, this is like good for successive attack, which works well with the weapon I have in particular. This, on the other hand, is kind of like I'm not sure if we want it or not. Like, it doesn't hurt. Like, honestly, if we're going to be hiding around, I'd rather this, but these weapons, I'm mostly going to be chasing them, so the stamina comes in real nice so I can do a chase down. Did we get invaded again? No.
taking out the third
I heard a
AC,
sound.
and
I thought
this
so.
was just an ammo.
Oh, by the way, I love these weapons. Why, you might ask? They're curved. Like, they even count as a curved weapon. They're that good. So, blah. The curve allows the weapon to slip through an enemy's guard as opposed to this, which just negates some at the cost of magic. I do not think that even though these are longer, I for some reason think I remember the hitbox being pretty similar, and this is just like superfluously longer. I don't, right? Because we just like cut part of it into the wall, and it didn't hitbox until it got like pretty close to the hands. So what this brings is it base reads past people's like it also does this like it's a Dark Souls 3 fucking Raven's Quills, which is kind of cool and all, but like I don't really give a shit. You know, like in the DS3, it would jump you up by force, and then you would be able to do the thing. So I don't know. It's not like a bad
I
item.
had a few attempts where I
don't like it.
absolutely destroyed the first two.
If anything, I like Raptor's Talons because they're the lightest of all of them. And that's like really good for stamina. But just for raw AR, it's like, yeah, I want to do raw damage. I just want to kill things fastest.
But simply did
break
not
their
have
stance,
enough ammo
get through
to
their
finish
shield,
the job.
kill them
It was
fastest.
frustrating, but eventually I made a build with 2 sets of very ammo-efficient missiles.
I hate Bloodhound
grit my
stuff.
teeth, and I took out the final AC on a sliver of health, 1 missile at a time.
This can't be.
I genuinely felt like I achieved something here. It was really rewarding to have to discover the pieces of the puzzle on the battlefield and then solve
They
that
not
puzzle in
spawn
the
here?
garage and then put that solution.
If you're too far, they end up spawning somewhere way far down, and I think I might have fucked up. Maybe, or they hit there. I don't... It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure if I'm too far down, they spawn way over there. If I'm about here-ish, but like if in this area, not to the town yet, not at the Grace. If you're at the Grace, you're too far. There's a chunk of ground they'll spawn in about here. Like kind of like, it's about the shape of a pizza someone bit, right? It's like a really weird rectangle wedge of where they'll spawn. And if you're too far down, there's a teeny chance they're gonna spawn way at the end of everything. And I forgot precisely where, but they have to get back here. And there is a shrimpy dude trying to kill me. Right, not trying to kill me. There's a shrimpy dude right there, and I'm not fucking with that at the moment. I've kind of forgotten how.
To the test.
I'll take out a hammer.
In my opinion,
I'll do
this
it.
is Armored Core at its best. And by the way, there is a part of Armored Core 6's trailer that shows the player fighting against 3 enemy ACs at once. So,
It's so fun.
yeah, you should probably prepare yourself for that.
By the way, spoiler, we've beaten this game multiple times. We've new game plus, we have one more new game cycle to get everything on it. I kind of stopped on the last 3 for Armored Core 6. It's so good. Oh, there's so many group fights. There's so many big old fights full of hella dudes, and it's so fun. I fucking love it.
But then it was back to the mission grind. And credit where credit is due, the way you navigate all of the missions in this game is very cool, because there are multiple missions for each region, and there's a good sense of familiarity and progression in the world as a result of that. And finally, I made it to the end.
It was a pleasure working with you, Red. But I'm afraid this time it's personal.
I'll be honest, I don't even know who that guy is. More than in any other Armored Core game, I actually kind of felt like an independent Raven in this one, just grinding away at mission after mission on behalf of faceless corporations for credits alone.
I wanted to see if I could push
So,
it,
after
or
spending
if I could
so much
space
time
them
on this game,
and retaliate.
I was actually kind of appreciative when I got this message from Software at the end. Thanks, Raven. You've accomplished a great feat. Your achievement is recognized by us. And then they give you a well-deserved reward. More missions. Great.
I
But
love more missions.
To be fair, these missions were kind of the best of all. You face off against who I can only assume is Stinger from Project Phantasma, with his being glitchy and corrupted. I kind of like the flavor of these ancient ACs.
I had to try
just
it. I don't like
persisting
it. There's a
throughout
way
the
better
ages
flame
to
attack.
eventually be fought
This
as
one is
these
mid at best, and I'm
corrupted
not a
remnants of
fan.
Blood Rage later on. And of course, the real final fight
Oops. GG.
is against Nineball Seraph again. Because of
I noticed my misstep while I was doing it. I'd pulled out of a roll, and I was trying to reapproach them when I ought to not have, and I was a bit advantageous, and that just bit me. That's fine.
Of course
Sometimes
it
you're a
is.
little bit advantageous and you die. It happens.
And here, he
More,
fights
please?
the
One
exact
more.
same way he does in Master of Arena, though
I need to get up and tingle soon anyway. Thank y'all for letting me like take a break from the EH mega drama for the day to just like be a shithead. Adore y'all. Y'all are the best.
the
10 out of 10.
controls and visuals are thankfully a lot better in this game.
The Ethan Hassan Destiny Dan. The not Twitch Dan. Dan that can't stream on Twitch because they banned him off Twitch. Dan. That Dan.
As then, he's extremely tough, but here I discover a strategy that
Tomorrow,
will serve
maybe.
me well in future
Tomorrow.
games. If you're ever facing an AC that tries
Assassin's
to get
Gambit
behind you,
is like so fun for PvE. Like when I was doing a level 1 run, like this skill was such a lifesaver because now I can walk right past NPCs and they can't do a damn thing. And that is like such a lifesaver. I highly, if y'all are ever doing a level 1 run, I'm just gonna say, the second you get Assassin's Gambit, like, I forgot where it is. I'm pretty sure it was like a waste thing over here by Liturgical Town. I think it was over here-ish. I forgot. No, I think I had it by here because I used it to get around this, like the dragon, etc. And I'm pretty sure I used it like the first times I've ever done this shit. I didn't do the skip on this character. I just don't think I touched anything. Invaded? No, not. Oh, we lost our gambit. But they can't target you. You can walk right up behind them. It allows you to just chill. And yeah, if you backstab them, it alerts their friends, but don't backstab them, just walk
just
through.
back up against a wall.
Back up
If
against a wall.
fought in this manner, 9-ball will chase you around the edge of the arena instead
I still think this is like the unsung hero of the game. Like, scattershot throw with this is not the one I wanted. Oh no, it is. It's because I'm a failure. Hold on one teeny second. I got this. This is like so fun. No, hold up. This is like such a amazingly OP fun way to live life. It's not OP, it's just fun. Blah. Okay, so if each of those cause an ample amount of bleeding, it causes slightly, marginally more bleeding than if you hit someone with like hook claws a couple times. No, sorry, once. It's slower to recharge, but there are some situations where this might be nice to position someone. And I'd rather have this as an offhand, maybe with parry on it, and still have the infinite dagger use with bleed, than have to sacrifice health for it with the blade thing that does a similar. It's not great. It is fun. That's all it is.
of just dashing behind you all the time, and he follows you around, he slashes at you with energy waves and shoots his projectiles, but you can just dodge them with another strategy I
Just be
learned, which
dodgy.
is to bunny
Oh.
hop boost tightly to the left and right. But
We're
even
done
with
with
all this,
invasions
this
for a
fight
minute.
was
I'm gonna
still
switch games.
hard
I'm
as
doing a
hell,
silly
and
thing.
At this point, I'm honestly just kind of amazed at how much From Software likes toying with people's 9-ball PTSD by putting him in so many games.
I mean, also, oh hey, what's the fun pinball game to play on computer? And I'm asking this because Pinball M on PC's full screen mode is so bougie and bad. Is FX as shit? Does anyone know if FX is as bad as,
But
like...
I eventually won.
I will call companies for bad implementation of libraries. It's like FromSoft notoriously bad with HDR, and this whole 60 frames a second limit thing. We're gonna fall out about this one day. Like this shit can't go on,
And
It won't go
surely
on.
I won't have
It's
to
gonna
fight that
end.
guy again.
or
And
somebody's
that's
gonna
the
have
second
to.
generation of Armored Core games
Lol.
complete. In retrospect, I think this might be the hardest generation of Armored Core if you take all of the missions together. Anyway, next is Armored Core 3, a whole new generation. And wouldn't it be great if they finally added dual analog controls? Yeah, nah, they...
Okay, hold on. We're stopping because I've liked our Vati time, but I'm about to get off the game and we're about to go do AFK React for a sec to probably something of me from the past. I'm gonna make you look at past me. Being silly with, like, rhythm. And I'm not sorry. There is like nothing I have. Oh, there's something. I was about to be like, I have bleached the world of life. I'm trying to like see if I can break a stance. I doubt it. I mean, it's really fun, right? It's not like it's bad. Oh, also, it's that the like R1 does this, and I will just never run out of these. And if I'm just luring something, like I don't even need to like spec enough to like use it for its alt attack if it's literally just me for lures, and it weighs 1.5. Alternatively, you could wield daggers, but those cost money. And if all you're doing is like pulling off an off like enemy, this is like such a handy fucking implement. It's like so handy. I'm in love with this. It's like so good. Shit. The fuck? It's to the right range where I can just start locking on now. I have to be at lock
Still
on
haven't
range for this to
made
work.
the right analog
Oops,
stick.
I pushed the button out of habit. Are you fucking kidding me? I have to be like so close I could literally be punched by them. There, I have to do levels really fast. I can wield nothing I'm wielding. I'm just holding it. Okay. It's been a minute since I've been on, and like I'm not the most used to like how I built this out. I really just had gotten done playing a wretch, and having more than 10 or like at most 15 in certain stats is like bananas. I know you can level up stats, but not if you're not leveling. So, I get to level on this. It started as a wretch. 10 and everything base is amazing. I'm not mad at this sword. I am mad at myself for like, I need to like probably make this not a chore to come back into, because I'm gonna have to do it kind of like, it's not a, like last time I had to get back used to the game, I just removed my save and started over. I have no regrets, but like, let's try to give myself a hand at getting back in, right? Like, what's the worst it's gonna do? Make me struggle less? Okay. This is fine. This is fine for me getting back online. This doesn't need to be in there. This can go here. 10 is our current body weight. 7, I was trying to switch to Traveler's set because I just have a preference to it. Like, I know if I come back online and I have the Traveler's set, I'm gonna be like, okay, favorite armor. Yeah, we're good. Favorite armor, totally good. If I can get a super fast invasion, it would be nice to have one where I have actual armor on, but I'm not gonna wait for long. Actually, no, we're gonna do it later if we do it. Nope. Nope. Exiting the game. Thank you for letting me play. Thank you for being cool. I do need to finish DLC Landia. Like, so we'll be back for this at some point. I just, like, hold on. Like, currently, where is it that I'm fucking around for fun? Is it Fisher Depths? I think it's Fisher Depths. This area loads so well on the Steam Deck that I get to have 60 frames a second right here, where you can farm a lot of small animal bones. We're not gonna judge me for that. You can eternally farm small animal bones. Or whatever else they drop. But like, yeah, no. This place, if I do if I bring people in to invade me again, I think I'm probably gonna do it here, because like, it's gonna be like, I love Academy Gate Town, but outside of it pruning out people without the DLC, which I don't want to do, the reason that it is fun is it's like, if this runs on a Steam Deck because of lack of light sources, not really too many shadows to have to draw, it's the best hope I can give an invader is like a cozy place to be, you know? All right. Thank you all for letting me be a silly goose. I fucking adore this game. FromSoft bangers. And this is this is the boy Vati playing 15 of FromSoft's hardest games. Mind you, FromSoft's head director both wants other directors to get good and have time to practice and iterate and grow their skills, but also has a proclivity to mech games, which means I'm hoping that we get a Elden Ring style open world mech game from FromSoft where I can go around and beat the piss out of the homies soon. Not soon, but like one day. Before I die, I want this. That's what I mean. Before I die, that's what I want. There's a legal mindset fast facts on Liver King versus Joe. Like, I'm maybe here for this. We'll see. But moreover, I put something in AFK tent especially for y'all. Is it Asmin Unbans? That's weird. I didn't think it was that one. Did I really put that in there instead of something else? I thought I put something else in here too. I thought I was being a shithead, and I put another thing in. Darn it. Hold on. I think I did, because Happy Souls is here, but I haven't made you watch Happy Souls in ages. And more than AFK tent, that's like meme-tastic, right?
I think we're lost. Oh. Look, when I hit the tree, it makes a funny noise.
Right.
Oh. Can you not hit
hit him.
that tree? Why is everyone stabbing me in the back?
'Cause it's easy. And it does a lot of damage.
Right. But no.